relate your biology. So obviously, the more energy you want to have in that field of information, of this field of energy, the better it is, because now the energy of the body, or you self as a whole, will have more energy to use for digestion, more energy to use for creativity, more energy to use for healing overall, repair, and be more connected to your higher self, be more connected to something else. Hello everyone, this is Kevlan, and in today's video I want to talk about the energy body, or the energy field that we have around us. And I will give you 5 ways in order to expand this energy field so that you can have more energy and your body can use more energy for healing, repair, and you can feel more aligned, more connected to your purpose and to your higher self. But before I jump right in and I give you those 5 ways or modalities that have been helping me in my own journey, I want to talk a little bit about the energy body and this field of information that we have around us, in order to make sure that you understand what I mean by that and what it means when this energy field is expanding or is contracting. So as I've mentioned in many of my past videos, we have an energy body around us, so an energy field around us. So this energy field was called the energy body by ancient civilizations, or prana or chi, depending on the cultures and the teachings. And it's basically what we are, and the physical body is just an extension of this energy body in a visible light spectrum. So this energy body is produced by the heart. So with a heartbeat, this heartbeat is going to create what we call an electromagnetic field. So just think of a magnet. We have an electromagnetic field following kind of a torus. And this is where the information about yourself is stored. So your state of being is stored in this energy field. So the way you think, the way you feel is stored in this energy field. And that's the reason why ancient civilizations have always mentioned the aura or the auric field, with those different colors, is because depending on how you feel and depending on what you think, this is going to have different colors, and the size of it will be more expanded or will be more contracted. So as I said, the center of this field is the heart, and the heart by beating, producing the rhythm, is going to create this energy field. And this energy field is very dynamic, meaning it can vary, the size of it can vary, yours can fluctuate throughout the day, but also different people, you feel that you have around you versus someone else, it will be different. It can be more expanded or more contracted depending on your state of being. So what I want to mention is, regarding this field, is when we feel, or when we are in a more contracted state, meaning when we are more in a state of anxiety, state of stress, or feeling those lower frequency emotions, so we feel more contracted overall, it means the energy field is going to be more contracted. So the energy that is in your energy field is going to get directly into your physical body in order to fight or flight. Usually when we feel stress is because we feel that there is a threat. There is a threat, whether it's by thought alone or there is an actual threat where we are. And as a result of this, we have the sympathetic nervous system is going to trigger this response of fight or flight in order to escape the threat or to fight the threat. So it's really about the survival instinct. And the majority of us just live in that mindset, in that state of being, state of stress. So it means the energy field that we have around us when we are in that state is very contracted, and we don't have a lot of energy. And as a result, if you don't have a lot of energy, then you don't have a lot of energy to heal, for creativity, for maintenance, for repair, and so on and so forth, because all the energy is going to go through the body and through the extremities, again, in order to fight or flight against a threat. And so this is a state that we normally want to be at only when we have a threat. And once the threat is no longer there, then we can go back into a parasympathetic response where we feel more, safe, we feel more relaxed, and as a result of this, the energy field will be more expanded, and now the body has all of a sudden more energy to use for repair, for maintenance, for digestions, for creativity, and so on and so forth. And this state of expansion, of contraction of this energy field has been measured, science has sophisticated devices that they can use to actually measure the strength or the expansion or the contraction of this energy field around us. There is many institutes or devices that exist right now to actually measure this field of information, this field of energy that we have around us, and science has called this field of information the biofield. And this is something you want to know more about: the energy body, the energy field, and how it works and how it fluctuates depending on our thoughts and depending on our feelings. I invite you to check out my book on Amazon, The Science of Breaking Free. I'll leave the link down below in the description. I have an entire chapter dedicated to the energy body, where I provide way more information and also references on what it is, how it works, and what devices has been used to actually measure it, and how far it can be measured and how far it has been recorded. So if this is something that is of interest, I invite you to check out my book and get all the details. But for now, that I have kind of explained a little bit to you what is this field of information. And I guess in the summary, what I want you to understand is this field of energy that we have around us is basically recording the state of being, your state of being. So how you feel and how you think is going to be recorded in this field of information. And based on that information that you have in your field of information, it's going to regulate or dysregulate your biology. So obviously, the more energy you want to have in that field of information, of this field of energy, the better it is, because now the energy or the body or you self as a whole will have more energy to use for digestion, more energy to use for creativity, more energy to use for healing overall, repair, and be more connected to your higher self, be more connected to something else. So it's very important that we understand this and that we can actually try to consciously connect to this field of information and try to expand it as much as possible and stay in this state as long as possible throughout the day. So the first technique that I wanted to discuss, or that I wanted to present in this video, is presence. Talk about the practice of being present, or mindfulness. As I said, this field of information, or this field of energy that we have around us is exists beyond space and time. So it means there is no future, there is no past. Where your intention goes, energy flows. So if you're always constantly thinking of the future, or if you're stuck in the past because something happened to you, then your energy that you have around you is going to be directed to your future or your past. And it means in that very moment, in that present, your body will not have a lot of energy to use for healing and repair. So the first practice is really to try to practice more mindfulness and presence throughout your day. You want to be more present. You want to be just here and now, not thinking too much about the future, not being stuck in the past with something that happened to you. And as a result of this, you want to get this energy back from the future, from the past, and get it back to the present, here and now. And as you do this, your energy field is going to expand. And when it expands, as I said before, you're going to have more energy for healing, for creativity, for receiving some inspiration, to connect with something bigger, something higher, something better overall. So it's really, and I know it can be, because we never been trained to really be in present, we've never been trained to really be mindful and conscious. We've always had this mind that is running in the background constantly and thinking about the future, thinking about the past. But try to practice more mindfulness throughout your day, whether when you're washing your dishes, when you're driving, when you're going for a walk. Try to be more present and call your energy back into the present, so that the body and yourself will feel more aligned. The The second practice I wanted to mention is the practice of breathing. And again, breathing is really consciously breathing. And what I like about the practice of breathing is because it's going to give you three things. First is, and when I say breathing, it doesn't really matter what type of breathing you're doing, as long as it's conscious breathing and it's really being present when you do it. But it doesn't matter. There is so many different breathing techniques you can use. It doesn't really matter, and I don't want to get into too much details when you get to this. In future videos, I may just explain what I do practice as a breathing, but overall, it doesn't really matter what type of breathing you want to do. The most important thing is you do it consciously and you're doing when you're present. So to me, the three benefits that we have, or the meaning behind breathing, I would say, is number one is when you practice breathing and you're more conscious about it, you're going to be more present. And so we go to point one: when you're more present, you're getting your energy back into the present moment, and you're expanding your energy field, you're increasing your frequency, and you have more energy all of a sudden for healing and for inspiration. The second aspect about breathing that I really, that is important to understand is breathing, movement is a constant of this universe. And, when we live our life and we may have certain events that we have, and that we have those very heavy emotions that we have a hard time to process. And sometimes because of our conditioning, we don't want to process those emotions because they are too painful, they are too hurtful, or we've been conditioned to believe that we don't want to feel them because we'll be a bad person. And we have a tendency to repress those emotions. And now when we repress those emotions, we create what we call blockages in your energy channels. So same as a river, when the river is flowing, it's usually clear, it's usually pure, it's usually clean, and when the river is not flowing anymore, we call it a swamp. So at the energy level, it's the exact same thing. When the energy is flowing properly through your channels, the meridians, then it's going to give you more clarity, everything will be more flowing, more connection. And when you have something, an event that will just create a dam, create a blockages, you're not going to feel this emotion, because again, an emotion is energy emotion. So you want to feel it to release it. If you don't feel it and you replace it, it's going to create a dam. It's going to create a blockage, and then it's going to create an energy swamp. And then we call that pain, we call that physical ailment, we call that problems. The body always expresses what the mind suppresses. So eventually those blockages will be expressed by the body, and you will feel them as physical symptoms. So the practice of breathing is going to create more movement. And just imagine when you have a river and you have, let's say, a dam, when you create more water flow, eventually the dam will break and the water will be able to continue the journey. So this is the exact same thing with breathing, is eventually as we create more movement, more pressure, more energy flowing, then eventually that will push against those blockages and really help to release those blockages. And when we release those blockages, then guess what happened? We're not stuck, or we're not bound. We take our energy back to something that happened to us in the past that created the blockage. And then all of a sudden when we take it back, we have more energy for the present. So that's why, breathing, it's also very good techniques. And the number three things about breathing is it creates what I call ATP. So ATP is a molecule that is used by your cells the energy molecule that is used by your cells. So your cells, same as you, needs energy to produce and to function properly. So the more energy they have, the better they have, and they can use to properly heal, and so on and so forth. So by breathing more consciously and getting more oxygen into your body, when you get more oxygen, your body is going to create more ATP. So it means you're going to feel more energized, and your cells are going to get more energy to, again, expand your energy field overall and have more energy for healing and repair, even at the cellular level. The third practice I wanted to mention is emotions. So if you want to expand your energy field, you want to open the heart. And the heart is, as I said, is the center of this energy field. that we have around us. So when we feel those high frequency emotions such as love, such as compassion, such as peace, then it's going to make us in a coherent state. And when we have a coherent state, so a coherent heart, so the heart is going to start beating in a more coherent way and communicate with the brain in a more coherent way, meaning we're going to have more coherent thoughts, and then we're going to have more coherent feeling, which is expanding the energy field. And I know it can be very tricky and difficult to trigger those emotions on demand and say, hey, I'm going to feel love, and all of us, and you're able to trigger that emotion just like that. We've never really been trained to really feel those emotions on demand. So I invite you to, when you want to expand your energy field and you want to increase your frequency, I invite you to try to think of someone that will trigger that higher frequency emotion, that will trigger that love within, that will trigger that peace within. And then it's going to expand your energy field as a result. And then you will have more energy for healing, for creativity, for inspiration, etc. The number 4 practice I wanted to mention in this video is the practice of sound and frequency. Everything around us affects our frequency, affects our energy field. It's all information we're going to interact with, and our energy field is going to interact with. And there is some information that are coherent or that will create a resonant communication or interaction, or dissonance communication interaction. And when it's resonant, it means, it's going to help us expand this energy field, or on the opposite, contract our energy field. So I invite you to listen to music or sound that will provide, that are very high in terms of frequency, in terms of vibration. And by bathing into this sound is going to help you expand your energy field as a result. It's going to calm you down. It's going to create this soothing feeling, this relaxing feeling, this safe feeling, where again, you're going to be more in a coherent state, and then your energy field will be able to be expanded and you will have a higher frequency overall. And the last practice I want to mention in this video is nutrition. Nutrition is, very important as well in terms of food that we consume have energy, and they can have a lot of energy or not a lot of energy or not energy at all. So all the food that are growing the sun, like with the sun, with water, like in nature, so the whole food, fresh whole food, typically have higher level of energy as compared to food that's been processed, that has been, ultra processed, that has been, modified in certain ways, or getting a lot of pesticide and so on and so forth. So I invite you, when you want to expand your energy field, is also to try to consume more high level, more food with high energy levels, such as fruits, organic fruits, fresh vegetables. They are the best food to get energized, are the best food to receive that energy from the sun, to receive their high level of energy. And what you consume will consume you. So eventually this energy is transferred to you and will help you either contract your field or expand your field. So one of the ways is really to use nutrition more consciously and to consume more fresh, organic produce, whole food produce that will help you with the expansion of your field. So that's pretty much the 5 practices that I do on a daily basis to try to maintain that state, or that expanded state, for my energy field as much as possible. And you just have to understand, it's normal that it fluctuates throughout the day, but when you know, or when you consciously see that you're going back into a contracting state, just try to use those practices in order to, change the pattern and go back to a more relaxed, a safer, more healing state. And over time, it's really going to affect your body. It's going to really, you're going to really work through regenerations instead of degenerations. The expanded field is all about regeneration, whereas a contracted field is all about degeneration. So if this is something you want to know more, as I said before, I invite you to check out my book on Amazon, The Science of Breaking Free. I'll leave the link down below in the description. Also, if you like the video, please smash that like button. It really helps for the algorithm. It doesn't take much effort just to put a thumb up. So I invite you to like the video, to share the video with your friends and family. And for now, I'll see you in the next one.